Hello everyone, welcome back to the Observer Football channel. Today we're going to be starting a brand new series on this channel, and it is a video game that I truly love. All credit goes to Justin for getting me into this series back 4 years ago. But today we're going to be playing Football Manager, and this series is going to be called FM and Chill. Now I don't know about you guys, but for me, whenever time I want to relax, kick back, and just have a good time, Football Manager is always the game to go to. Now, one of the things I really love is Italian football, for those who don't know. Now, one of my favorite teams I've actually kind of picked up to love during Football Manager is my team, Sassuolo. Now, they have been a mid-table side the last couple of years, especially with the Seria A last year. They have a very exciting side here, and you know what? Kind of with some key people leaving, I thought it'd be a very good series to kind of take them back up to the champ. I want to take Sassuolo to European football, to the Europa League. I know that's a very tall order to ask here for, but you know what? In my other saves I've done previously, in my own time, I was able to do so. So let's jump right into the action. Now, I am taking the management position for Sassuolo here. 26 years of age, never heard of in the game. Always the managers are always over 40, you know, those type of things like that. But you know what? We're taking over Sassuolo and we're going to the top, baby. Let's get right into it. Nice. Look at this. Look at this breaking news item here. Okay, so Sassuolo's got a pretty good reputation out here, especially the last couple of years. Here we have a budget of $9,400,000, okay, and a wage budget of $600,000. So not too bad. A couple of things to note here for Sassuolo is we got one of the most exciting young Italian prospects in all of world football. That is Raspadori. He is a very kind of like an Aguero type of player, shorter, but you know has the technical ability to score goals and to help create assists. One of the best players in Italy right now. Domenico Berardi, absolute stud of a player, and you know that is something that I'm always going to utilize and make sure I can keep a hold of him. Jeremy Boga, again, I don't know if those who that may know, but Jeremy Boga is actually tipped to leave Sassuolo, so hopefully we can keep a hold of him as well because he's a very crucial player. I'm not a really big fan of Juric. I mean, he's a good player in real life, but for me personally, I just don't think he fits my style. A couple other players here as well to kind of look at. Obiang. Decent box-to-box midfielder. Maybe a player might be used, but I'm looking to kind of replace him. And Lopez. Lopez is a recent acquisition to Sassuolo, coming over from Ligue 1. Again, we'll see how he does and how he fits in the squad here. Defense is something I really got to tidy up here. Jurčeš, do not want on my squad at all, even though he's had kind of a journeyman, but I just don't want him on my team. Ferrari, good player. Getting up there in age, so I might want to change him as well. Mulder. Very exciting on right back here. I'm going to be trying to interplay him with Ajupong. Very good Italian right back as well, so we'll see how he turns out. And apologies if I can't pronounce this guy's name. Gurikopoulos, very good left back here. Something that I might probably use him going forward in the future. And of course, we got good old solid Consigli. 34 years of age. This is probably the area that I'm looking to get kind of a more of an upgrade on, especially with him coming to the end of his career. I mean, they do have some good backup young keepers in the system, such as Russo, and they also got Tarati as well. So might be players I might be looking to develop. So let's kind of get into this here. Okay, so we want to sign Italian players, right up my alley. Playing attacking football, something we can definitely do as well. Definitely use young players. Okay, so this is something that I feel like I can very, very be comfortable doing. Okay, we're gonna kind of go through most of the stuff here. Kind of go through. Let's just do the back staff meeting every month. To be honest, with this new series, you'll be kind of seeing me go through this with you guys. There might be some stuff I'm not familiar with, but I consider myself a pretty intermediate player of Football Manager. So this will be something that kind of learning process between me and you, but we'll kind of go from there. So let's get all set up here. So we're going to get set up on this here. We're going to call this a Sassuolo, and we're going to go save over the Spezia save. All right, so first things we're going to kind of go off here is we're going to go over a couple housekeeping items. So the first thing we're going to look at is our last players in last year of their contract. So we got some pretty big players here who are in the last year. We got Jeremy Boga. So this is probably a player that I'm probably going to have to sell just because of his him not wanting to sign a contract. That's absolutely unfortunate. But, if I recoup some money for him, that would probably be the ideal situation. Juric, typically by 29, this is kind of his latter part of his career. I'm going to try and look to get him off as well. However, he is a highly influential player, so that could be hard to do. Consigli, I might help him just for, like, you know, just to keep him as a good backup there. Okay, so this guy we're going to have to really sign here. So this guy I'm going to absolutely try and sign here, Brian O'Day. So we're going to offer this man a contract. Now, we're going to offer him a breakthrough contract, and we're going to pay him whatever we can, because he's going to be, I think he's going to overtake Jeremy Boga on the starting squad, and I want to use him. Sign him to a 5-year contract. Let's sign him to 6.75K a week. Let's reduce the substitution. Let's go there. Looks good. Perfect. Absolutely need to get this guy in here. He is probably the best player in the Sassuolo setup. You know, Brian O'Day says Ghanaian. He also does have Italian citizenship as well. So hopefully in the future he can you know, switch allegiances. So we'll go from there. A couple other players. Gonna sign these guys as well, just to kind of get caught up on here. Just because anyone with over about 3.5 star potential, I always like to sign. So we'll kind of get these done here. Okay, so the first thing we're also going to do as well is we're going to take a look at our responsibilities. So one thing I always like to do is, as a football manager player who doesn't have the time to play through every friendly, to do the training, you know, for those skilled FM players to go through training, that's more of an advantage for them. But just for me and just for my comfortability with the series, I'm just trying to play a little bit more casually here and just have a good time. So we're going to set the assistant manager to take over training. So all you're going to do here is you're going to go to the staff tab. You're going to go to the training portion here, and we're going to delegate our training to our assistant manager, so we don't have to worry about that. So absolutely perfect. Now, one other thing we also want to set as well is for matches. So for anyone who plays our friendly matches, fair play. For me personally, I don't have time to handle that. So one thing we're also going to do here is we're also going to have them delegate the friendly matches to our assistant manager. And also as well, I want to assign the scouts, because that's something that we want to get a hold of, is the most vital information for all the young players out there for any scouting we want to do. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take control of those scouting assignments. Okay, so those things are little notes here if you guys want to kind of bypass some things here and kind of save yourself some time here. So we're going to confirm that. Now as well, we're going to look at the staff search. So one thing to note is that we got to make sure that our coaching staff is relatively good. The board doesn't have any issues with our coaching team. I don't think they have any issues with our recruitment team either. Yeah, we need a chief scout. So that's one thing we're also going to do as well, is we're going to look for a chief scout. So one thing we're going to do here is we're going to look for advanced. We're going to look for staff role. We're going to go to scouting, recruitment team, scout. So we're going to assign a guy for our chief scout to kind of help out with our organization here. So one thing I always like to do is we kind of look to see at, now one thing we could also go by as well as world reputation. We can go fairly good here. So this guy here, it looks pretty good, this Frenchman. So he's wanted Grimaldi. So we're going to try and sign him. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and sign him for our chief scout role. So what we're going to do here, you know, I don't know how much we should pay this guy. Let's try to go for 5.5. Too much for us. So we can't afford that, unfortunately, because we're Sassuolo and we're not there yet. Let's try and go for Soren here. He's got some good stats here. He's 63, but you know what? Sometimes age is a good number to not to look at. Now let's try to go here. Chief Scout. Okay, we can't accept that. We can't sign that guy either. So a little bit of things here is kind of got to go over here. So trying to look for okay. Ooh, Eric Abidal. What an absolute player to sign. You know, coming from Barcelona there. How much does he want? 9.5K. This might be something we can try and... Let's kind of increase scout wages. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and settle this for a little bit here. We're going to ask the board to get that set up there, but so hopefully to, you know, increase the scouting wages. Now what we're going to do is we're going to set up our tactic here. So we're going to go wing play. That's the formation I like, you know, the type of style I like to play, so 4-3-3. So we're going to choose that formation. So 4-3-3, DM. So typically what I like to do is I like to play a defensive midfielder in the 4-3-3 against a stronger team like Juventus, Roma, Napoli, those type of teams. For teams that we're a little bit more better against, like Spezia, you know, Venezia, Empoli, we're going to play more of an attacking midfielder, so we have them play as a CAM. So that's kind of what the gist of the position is here. So what we're going to do here is we're going to play our system here. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm absolutely going to put Consigli as our starting goalie here. I'm going to put Mulder as our right back because he's an absolute stud there. I'm going to play Ferrari. He's a really good player too. He's come up in his twilight years as well. He's 29. Something to consider there. I'm also going to play, in this current time frame, I'm going to play Kion here, or Khan. He is a decent player. I mean, he is an influential player, but he is wanted. I probably would prefer to play Romania there, but we'll see how they do throughout the season. And I'm going to play Gurakopoulos. So that's kind of what my defense will look like here. Again, not too bad, but again, room for improvement. I'm going to put these left backs and right backs on support for the time being. Now, defensive midfielder. So the thing we're going to consider here is I believe that Obiang would be a good center defensive mid because he does have good pace. Or no, not good pace. Actually, not that good at all. He's 11. He's not fast, but he does have good stamina. He does have good tackling technique and some good passing. So we need him to fill the void that, unfortunately, Locatelli has left. That's kind of left a big hole in our midfield there. So we're going to play him there. One thing we're also going to do as well is we're going to play Maxime Lopez. He would probably be the player that I would look at to have either playing the center attacking mid role with Juricic. And then the other player I like to play as well, who's a fantastic player for, you know, Sassuolo, would be Traore. Now, Traore is a very highly potential player here, an absolute player we have to keep a hold of. So another person we're going to play in that role there. And for Maxime Lopez there, I'm also looking to get a little bit more playing time for Fratesi, who has been having actually a really good season for Sassuolo this year. So he might be a player I'm looking at to get more caps. So we're going to get that set up. Now, obviously, for our forwards, so Jeremy Boga, I'm not going to play just because he wants to leave. I got to get him off our team as soon as possible. So someone we're going to look at getting rid of later. What we will do though is we will play Juricic on the left for now. Play him on the left, just so that he can cover that player position until we find a replacement. We're going to play Domenico Berardi at right wing because he's an absolute star of our team. So we're going to play him at attack. Juricic will play you as an inside forward support, and for our striker. So a couple things here. So we have a couple options. We have Defrel, who's really good, Raspadori, and Scamacca. Now what I'm planning on doing is I'm planning on rotating Scamacca and Raspadori together because they are very good players, and I would love to have them kind of intertwine with each other, but I'm going to have them basically play it out this season. Just for the sake of it, though, I'm going to play Raspadori because of his international involvement with the Euros. Backup goalie, we're going to put Saltinho here for that. Rogerio, also another good player we can kind of look at keeping. Juricic, we're going to try and sell. Peluso's coming into his career. Magnelli, absolute team captain, but you know what? It's time to go, unfortunately, time to hang them up. Matias Henrique, he looks not bad. Toljan, really good right back to have. Fratesi, like we talked about. And Scamacca and Defrel, we're going to play up here. So we have some good players here in the team to look at here, but you know, some players we're going to look to offload here. So what we're going to do first is, that's kind of our starting 11. If you guys have any comments on what you guys like to see to change the starting 11, let me know. But one thing we're going to do here is what we're going to do is we are going to offer out Jeremy Boga, So the only thing is here, though, is that he wants to leave. So we're kind of just going to put feelers out there to see what the asking price would be out there. So we're going to see how that goes. But we're going to accept the current vision. And you know what, guys? Again, that we're going to leave it there for now. We're going to see where things end up with the transfer window. Again, this was more of a video to get us introduced to the series and to get us to build our team here overall. Again, thank you guys for joining in. Again, let's go with Sassuolo, because you can't put the ass unless you have Sassuolo in it. Okay? Thanks, guys. Make sure to leave a comment below on what players you'd like to see brought into Sassuolo. And don't forget to like and subscribe.